this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
No. When
we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin versus the World. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobuki Jake.
Hi.
And we're here to show you what they got.
Yep.
We got
stuff.
Tear Maker up and going. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? We got all the little Tear Maker stuff. I'm going to take this StreamYard sharing thing and put it down at the bottom so that it's, out of the way. But yeah, you can see all of these nice little things. Now, Jake can only see it on the smaller screen, so it's kind of teeny tiny for him. But for the rest of you, you're not even seeing our lovely faces. You're seeing the Tear Maker up as it is. Now, we've got a whole bunch to do, and we'll have Jake lead us off this time.
Yes.
So what do you got for us first off?
Well, I'm going to kick off with a pair of classic Best Picture nominated films. I believe they both won, actually, if I'm remembering correctly. Films that are getting the deluxe 4K treatment on Steelbook. One of them, as you can probably see already from the screen, is Braveheart, the Mel Gibson star about Scottish Revolutionary William Wallace. And then Gladiator stars Russell Crowe as Maximus, a gladiator. Both excellent films, both overrated in their own day, but they have held up pretty well over the years. And I'll admit, they could both look pretty good on 4K if they really did their due diligence.
You know what's funny is that we were talking about we should present them together, but there was also apparently a 2-movie collection that came out.
And we didn't even realize it. Okay, well, you learn something new every day.
So those are nice films. So again, as we have been and as we were trying to do last week, but it just on us. Of course, how we have this is a rating system for you first-timers here. So what we do is we kind of take the average of our ratings, and then we round down. But we have these as the lowest one, which is Hell No, I Will Never Own. That takes a lot, because that means both of us, well, technically rounding down, it would still go to Hell No. But we'll round up for that case, because Hell No is just like neither one of us. So it's just like never, ever. So that would be like maybe, I don't know, for you it would be like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Wait, no, House of a Thousand Corpses. They couldn't even give it to you. So then there's meh, no interest, but if someone were to give it to you for free, you might. Curious would get it the prices right. So if you go into, like, say, Dollar Tree and you see one of them and you're going, I'd do that. Or maybe if you see something that's like a $5 or $7, maybe even a $10.
Yeah.
Then Yes Please, marked to get eventually. They're on your wish list. You just don't want to pay that $30 to $40 opening price tag that are there with that. And then Priority, must own. It doesn't matter what the price tag is. I got to get it now. And if we already own it, then, we can still say, okay, well, if we didn't own it, that's how we do it. And I think both of us own Braveheart.
Yes.
So where would you rank?
Well, I already have Braveheart on Blu-ray and I have Gladiator on DVD, so Gladiator could use an upgrade. But a lot of it would hinge on the special features, and I admit I haven't checked to see what they are on the respective versions. Steelbooks always look cool, but just rating them based on the movie themselves, both of these were yes, please movies. They're both essentials for the collection, but neither one is one I'd be beating down the door to get to.
So, and I agree with you on there. I mean, especially with, Braveheart just being an awesome movie in general, and Gladiator being a good movie and an Oscar-winning film.
Right.
Where are you, Gladiator?
I know I saw it. You got it on there somewhere.
It's on
You
there
didn't already.
somewhere.
Oh yeah, there it is, right next to First Snow and the Joker.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. So even I can't.
He
see
was
it.
he was hiding behind the shield.
So my first one is a film called 2 Minutes of Fame. So I don't know much about this film.
I don't either.
I believe that's the one, isn't it? Yes, it is. So we've got it looks like a comedy with Jay Farrow and Cat Williams, and there's not much on it here, really.
Wait, what have you got here?
2 Minutes of Fame.
Was that on your list? I don't even remember seeing that.
Yep, that was there. Did you have something that you were like, yeah, this is awesome, I want to check it out?
No, I can't say that's when I would be. I don't have much to say on that one, I don't think.
So, let me see here. I thought it was on here. Apparently it's not. Well, we'll just say that will have to be left out. Maybe it didn't get on the slideshow.
Oh, no, yeah, that's why I'm confused, because I know your slideshow started with a Soldier's Revenge. So
Yeah,
that's why
so it just didn't get, it just got let, well, so you're seeing it now. And you know what? We started this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say, instead of our normal way of doing it, we'll have to do the slideshow now. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
we forgot. I just kind of rammed right into it when we were trying. I got so
Okay.
excited about having the tier maker, and of course, no Gundam this week. Just as a.
Oh yes, no gun.
So
Actually, we don't even really have a substitute, do we? As far as the huge anime series.
I
don't think we
There's
do.
kind of more minor stuff coming out.
So, I'm not really sure why I was chosen to present this one, but there is a film coming out that I think would be up Dane aisle from what I've been hearing on our recent videos. It's called Connie Ba, and it's a documentary. Basically, IMDb describes it as Connie Ba is a film that reflects on the discomforting significance of cannibalistic desire in human existence through the prism of one man, Issei Sagawa, and his mysterious relationship with his brother June. Directed by Lucien Castaigne-Taylor and Verena Paravel. I don't know what I would make of this. I always like the idea of documentaries, especially ones that would cover ground I wouldn't normally seek to cover. So I'm curious, but not much interest other than that.
Yeah, I'd be in
so
that curious
curious.
range myself.
Right. You know, we didn't do a rating on the other one, though.
Well, I would
Oh, you
say,
were waiting till you had a picture, huh?
Well, and I can't add it now, so I guess
Well, I'll go ahead and say meh.
I will say meh on it too. I have no real.
We'll just remember
I would
it to
watch
meh.
it. I would definitely
Right.
watch it if I was if
Right.
I was there.
Right.
Let's see here. No, I don't need to add anything below. Okay, so my next one here is A Soldier's Revenge.
Nah.
So let's take a look at that. A Soldier's Revenge. So I believe that's the one, maybe? Yes.
Oh,
So again, it looks like a Western of all things.
It
That
does.
should have gone to you, because you like that. It's got Val Kilmer in it.
yeah.
Not one that I am big on, but let's see here. Haunted by a wartime horror, Civil War soldier turned bounty hunter, Frank Connor, spends his time post-war polishing off two things, whiskey and fugitives. When two desperate children arrive on his doorstep and enlist his help to find their missing mother, Frank must face his past in order to take down the notorious Major Briggs. All right.
Apparently, this is going straight to video because there are no ratings at all on IMDb.
So where would actually for me it's a meh because most of the time you have to really sell me on a Western. I'll watch it, but I have to be. I really wouldn't pay much money for it. Maybe $1 at the Dollar Tree, but even then I might pass it by. So it's definitely a meh for me.
Yeah, I'd say I'm curious, but not strongly. It can go either way.
So it rounds down to meh.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I
Are we
said,
rounding down or up? Okay.
it's rounding down unless it's for Hell No. Because for Hell No and Priority, really those
Right.
should be things that we agree on for it to be
True.
ranked as truly high or truly low.
True.
So,
So, my turn?
yeah, your turn.
Okay, so we have next up, get my list up here, the Columbia Classics Collection Volume 1, which is getting a 4K release. And I'll admit, this looks cool. This looks a lot like that set you have before, and I always thought that was a cool looking set. A 4K set would be even cooler. Can you kind of scroll over so we can see the other pictures? I'm curious what it would.
Let's see. That's one.
Let's see.
So there's the
Yeah.
other one
Ooh,
there.
look at
So
that.
It's got a pretty. It looks
That
kind
is
of like the old one
cool.
because the other one had a book as well.
Yeah. That opens up like a little bookshelf.
It looks like it
You
has
got
more
a-
to it than what they say, though, because I
Nice.
see Doctor Strangelove in there, and
You know that. You read off the
oh
titles.
yeah, that's
to
true.
me.
That is true.
So this one has Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Lawrence of Arabia, Doctor Strangelove, Gandhi, A League of Their Own, and Jerry Maguire. So kind of a random assortment there, but mostly pretty solid films. And again, if they really do a solid 4K treatment for each of those, that might be pretty cool. Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
yeah. I mean, so I guess that one is one. Again,
You have
if
to rate it on the set, I think.
yeah, I mean, for me, it's a really cool set. I'm
Yeah.
very interested in it, but at the same time, I have those films. But if I didn't have any of those films, I might be tempted. I just,
Well,
it's
I
very
have-
rare that I get them.
I have all of those, but Mr. Smith Goes to Washington is part of a really cool Frank Capra set.
Yeah.
And I want to say Lawrence of Arabia was a really fancy set, but all of those I have on DVD. So all of those I could use a format upgrade.
No, for
The main issue is that Doctor Strangelove is definitely going to be a Criterion pickup one of these days. So they would really have to outdo themselves. But I would still say that could be a.
So I'm thinking Curious because the price
I
is
have
right.
to
I
say,
would go for it.
yeah, I have to do that, even though those are all essential titles.
It's sort of
I
like
have
that
to do that for the
Skywalker
set.
collection, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I would
Yeah.
like that Skywalker collection, but I don't want to pay that money for it. But if I saw it for
Right.
like $50 somewhere, I might go,
Right.
So, next
Curious,
one
very curious, sir.
is one that is not on Amazon, which is Bad Therapy. And it may not be on Walmart either, but I think it is. No. Okay, Bad Therapy DVD. Nope, Bad Boys, obviously. That's really what I was looking for, you know.
Obviously.
Bad Therapy. All right. And again, it is amazing. There it is. Movies
Where did
and
you
Music.
find that from?
It was on one of the ones. It might have been on Target. That's the problem with some of these is they are really there. So let's see here. Well, we'll just go Bad Therapy DVD. There we go. So, I mean, you can see the. I mean, there it is right there. So you can see it up there a little bit. So what if your therapist is a psychopath?
Ha.
You know.
What if?
So let's see. Married couple Bob and Susan Howard decide. There, it's like Rob Corddry and Alicia Silverstone decide to see a marriage counselor named Judy Small, played by Michaela Watkins, who recently relocated close to their home in Los Angeles. When Bob and Susan first meet Judy, she appears to be competent, intelligent, and trustworthy. With a track record of other couples she's treated successfully without incident. But Bob and Susan's particular emotional dynamic is a trigger for Judy's dark and conflicted impulses. So it would be interesting. That one definitely is.
Secretly, Susan is a Valley girl who moonlights as Batgirl.
It's one that's got me very curious on there. I'm not sure if it's a must for me, but I like ones that deal with therapy and mental health. Call it professional curiosity.
Yeah.
So I would definitely be under the curious for me.
I'm curious too, if only to see Rob Corddry and Alicia Silverstone playing a married couple. That just seems weird and wrong to me.
Oh, yeah, the price is right, you know.
Yes, I'm curious. Okay, speaking of weird and wrong, next up we have a release. I believe you can bring up the picture. I can tell better. I think it's a Section 23 release.
What's
It
the
might
thing?
be directly under Sentai. I
Oh.
don't remember.
All right, that's one anime. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be a series that is pretty well known and not always in a flattering way called Domestic Girlfriend.
There you go.
Wait, they have a premium set for that?
Yeah.
Is that
let's
coming
take
out
a
the
look
same
at that
day?
and see. That is $8.25, so we got to.
Oh, so we got a ways yet.
So yeah.
Okay, so the
Sentai.
standard is coming out this week. And, okay, so it is Sentai. Okay. This series has garnered some controversy.
That's pricey for a Sentai release.
I know. And well, like I said, it's getting a premium release. I'm kind of surprised by that. But so basically, you have this series that has this dude has a crush on his teacher and tries to get over his disappointment by hooking up with a girl he meets at a party, only to find out not long after that they are sisters and that his father is about to marry their mother. So it's an awkward setup on multiple ways. But I read a conversation on ANN where they were talking about that it's apparently the kind of show that's much better than it has any right to be. And it supposedly is not bad. In fact, the one sister, Rui, it sounds like a really fun character in a lot of ways. And they said the opener was pretty awesome too. But based on what I know about this, I can't put it as a priority. It has to be a lower rank.
Well, you're not gonna order it right now at $45.49?
Oh hell no! But it definitely. I'm going to definitely say I would get if the price is right.
Yeah,
so
it
it's
is.
definitely curious.
All right, so
Wait, no, you're grabbing another one.
is it on here? Did it?
Yeah,
no, there
it's
it
at
is.
the beginning.
Yeah, I'm curious, definitely.
Yeah.
So it's like you see one with a bunch of waifus on the cover. You see them all.
Hey, well, from what I hear, I'm not sure that either of them is waifu material, but you never know.
So my next one is going to be another film called Deadly Crush. Let's see if we can find it on here. Crush.
Okay.
Let's see here.
This is one I know nothing about.
DVD. I want to say that's it, but it's one of those that's not on there.
Oh.
Deadly Crush DVD.
Oh, Bad Times at the LAL was good.
I'm just gonna have to go through here if it's not Deadly Crush DVD. All right. Okay, so it was.
There you go.
It's there. That's the product right there.
Yeah.
It says Amazon on it too. But that's the thing here. I don't know much about it overall.
I don't know anything about this one.
Let's take a look on IMDb. Deadly Crush.
2018 release.
So, I kind of like that cover better. When a painter rents a secluded cabin to jumpstart her creativity, she has sex with a ghost to find herself part of his plan to bring itself back to... What the hell? Okay, well...
Yes, that sounds perfectly normal.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I like me a good horror film, but I'm not sure I would be all that... I don't know, the premise sounds odd. I wouldn't
Yes.
necessarily turn it down, but and if I saw it at one of these stores and it was low enough priced, maybe I would go curious for me. What would you say?
I am wondering about this myself. I like a good ghost story. I have no idea if this is a good ghost story.
Well, hey, they're having sex with ghosts.
I know. I guess I'll have to say curious, but a weak curious. The price would have to be really good.
Like, yeah, you get a Dollar Tree and you find it. And
Exactly.
All right.
Okay. So next one up is one that I'm wondering if this is a re-release, because it's apparently a 2006 film, but it's called First Snow. And I am intrigued. I am very much intrigued by the cast. You've got Guy Pearce, J.K. Simmons, Piper Perabo, and William Fichtner. I mean, with a cast like that, that kind of begs being considered. I don't know a great deal about it beyond that. It's supposed to be sort of a dark thriller. It says on the cover from the writers of Iron Man and Children of Men. That bodes well for it, too.
Let's see this.
So,
they actually have a large amount of description.
wow, that's nice. Who's the releaser here?
That's a good question. Let's see. It should be. Oh wait, no, I guess it's down here.
MVD Marquis Collect.
Huh.
Okay. I don't know that.
Well,
But yeah, I think that it's supposed to be sort of a noir, sort of thriller kind of thing. It looks fun. I like psychological thrillers. This claims to be one. So I'm definitely going to say curious on this.
all right. I am curious just for the cast alone.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say curious. This one I don't think is on here, but let's see here. The Tuscan Smile DVD. Let's see. Oh,
There you go.
so, some people probably go for the Blu-ray these days. So, from the produced by Academy Award winner Arthur Cohen, with Brian Cox, Rosanna Arquette, J.J. Field, and Thora Birch. It's an interesting cast.
That is a very interesting cast. I'm intrigued.
So it's obviously a wonder to watch as well. And there's an ocean in it, as I see here. Let's see here. A rugged old Scotsman who reluctantly leaves his beloved isolated
Hebridean, yeah.
Island for San Francisco to seek medical treatment. Moving in with his estranged son, Rory's life will be unexpectedly transformed through a newly found love for his baby grandson. Oh, you got trailers and Brian Cox's recorded intro as the extras. Whole bunch of stuff. Well, that looks interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious.
So, yeah, I would definitely say curious myself. Now, where is it?
This week is just getting curiouser and curiouser.
It's under T for the.
Yeah.
All right. Seems like we got a bunch of curious ones this time around.
But we're about to change all that with our next one, Laurel and Hardy, the definitive restorations. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. I'm sure this probably has some fun stuff. This is a who is the releaser here? Is this Kino or is this?
Let's see here. It is Kit
Parker Films. Okay, I don't know that, but anyway. So let's see. So we've got the feature film Sons of the Desert and Way Out West. Classic short films Barth Marks, Battle of the Century, Bratz, Busybodies, The Chimp, Come Clean, County Hospital, Help Maces, I guess that is, Hog Wild, Me and My Pal, Midnight Patrol, The Music Box, One Good Turn, Scram, Their First Mistake, Toad in a Hole, and Twice Two. plus a whole bunch of special features. That looks like a pretty good set. And as you said, 2 and 4K upgrades. So
That's 60
that's
bucks.
pretty cool.
So it's,
Yeah, I mean, it's not one I would pre-order, but I definitely could use a set like that. I need to see. I don't think I have any Laurel and Hardy, and I need to one of these days.
I have one of the Kino collections, but
Right,
none of the stuff that they have on there.
right.
And
So that'd be cool. Well, then this is hardly definitive, is it?
not really, yeah. There are a lot of the short films, though, and that's one of the things they got
Right.
known for back in the day,
Right.
after they got out of vaudeville.
Right.
So,
I would definitely call this a yes, please.
yeah, I could go with that.
Yeah.
It'd be either a high curious or a yes, please for me
Yeah.
as well. So, I got one that's interesting.
Well, good.
Giant spider invasion. Whole bunch of
So
things
the
on-
Criterion release, obviously.
The scream you hear will be your own.
Probably.
$20.
Woo.
Gotta get your giant spider on.
So is this the
That's from Dark Force
Dark
Entertainment.
Force? Nice.
And it does have the mishaps.
Okay,
which is
I
an
like
interview
this
with Bill.
description. After a black hole strikes.
Well, most spiders tend to live in black holes.
I love this description. It's so awful. I love it.
So it opens up to another dimension in a rural Wisconsin town, and soon there's an invasion of gigantic arachnids who crave human flesh. Oh, what else would they crave?
Of course.
NASA scientists Dr. Vance and Dr. Ginny Langer try their best to save humanity as a romance blooms between them. Meanwhile, local Dan Kester squabbles with his wife, Eve, and has a dalliance with local bartender Helga. Woo!
I like that this includes a giant spider music video.
Heck yeah! Lots of laughs, apparently. So, it looks entertaining. The price tag is a bit high for me on something like that, though it is something that has my mind too curious.
Yes.
So
I'm
you would agree
curious.
with me on that? Hey, if I saw this for $5 at a shop, I'd probably grab it up. Just be like, hey, this is pretty cool. Hey,
Or when it inevitably gets introduced as a selection for movies galore.
I would probably add it to the collection if we ended up discussing it.
Okay.
So, what you got for us?
Well, this one I know because I remember it was on the cover. Is a Shout Select release coming out this week called The Missing. It's a Ronnie Howard film, if I remember correctly. And it's one that I had heard about
No.
and meant to see, and I missed it. But so we got The Missing is a
Yep,
in
that's it.
1885 New Mexico, a frontier medicine woman forms an uneasy alliance with her estranged father when her daughter is kidnapped by an Apache brujo. And you've got Kate Blanchett, Tommy Lee Jones, Evan Rachel Wood, Aaron Eckhart, another Val Kilmer Western, actually. Ray McKinnon, et cetera, et cetera. This looks good. I remember it had decent buzz at the time, but nothing like earth-shattering. It kind of fell by the radar for a lot of people, but I want to see this. And Shout does fun releases, but I'm on the border between curious and yes, please. I'll probably say yes, please, because I know you'll say something that'll bring it down anyway. So
I'm curious, just mainly because of the casting and the pedigree. So
Right.
that will bring it down to curious, which is decent. Hey, it solves your dilemma.
Right. There you go.
So let's see here. So here's one that I'm sure we will differ from in almost the same way. The Hills Run Red, which is one of the last horror films that was released under the under the Dark Castle Entertainment label, which most of you would know for the remake for House on Haunted Hill and Ghost Ship and those, and they're just really fun films. And I own a copy of the DVD release for this. And I would love to upgrade to Blu-ray, not for $30, I wouldn't, but I eventually want to get all the horror films from this group, or at least those early ones, before they decided, we're just going to do everything. It's, I believe, a slasher film. I have yet to see it yet. Let's see here. Dark, clever, and nasty as hell. Fangora, you heard the story. One about the goriest, bloodiest splatter film ever made in the 80s, but mysteriously lost. Flash forward now. Young cinema buffs search for the secret location where the movie was shot, hoping to find the film. So this is a movie about some of our Inside Movies Galore crew. What they find is the goriest, bloodiest splatterfic ever. It's more than a movie. It's real. Also, it's like video violence, and it's happening to them. The Hills Run Red vaults into a whole new level of horror. That as the terrified interlopers confront a demented killer who covers his head with the face of a baby doll mask. Yeah, well, again.
Hell no.
Yeah, I know you with that. Which for me, it's a yes, please. So now we're in this in between. So since it's in between, it has to be rounded down. So it would be the meh area. So. All
right. Well, you gotta get that Soldiers Revenge some company.
Yeah, apparently. So there you go. Go ahead.
Okay. So on a lighter note,
that's an anime. Isn't this one?
This one is called Mysteria Friends, and I do believe that it is is this also a Section 23 release? Okay, let me see the artwork. Oh, that also has a premium set coming out. When's that due?
So that's the premium set.
We'll go down.
They're both doing the same. They both do it at the same time.
Okay, so they're both coming.
Just,
that's a nice looking set. See, we've said it before, we'll say it again. Sentai makes nice premium collections.
It's got a little rotation there.
I know. Yeah. It'll do that for you. That's how good they are.
And while you're talking about it, I'll move over to the standard edition.
So, Mysteria Friends is basically, it's a short series. Apparently there are 10 episodes and they're like 16 minutes long each. But it's also distantly related to the Rage of Bahamut series, which I need to see that series. I've heard a lot about it. I feel like Genesis in particular got a lot of praise. This one apparently is set in the same world, but it's incidentally related. It's more like they use the same basic idea and premise, but it's set at an academy, Mysteria Academy, which apparently it's actually a different title, but the English dub goes with Mysteria, so that's why they call it this title. So basically it's a magic school. It says the student body is composed of humans, god, and demons. The main characters are Anne, a princess and honor student, and Greya, a princess who is half dragon. And this apparently is a series that is just basically a slice of life Yuri series set in a magical school. That's basically the premise. Apparently it is very, 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 very different from the Rage of Bahamut series. My guess from what I'm understanding is that this would be related to that in much the same way that Attack on Titan Junior High would be related to that. But, and it might be just about as fun from what I understand. So I would definitely call this a yes, please for me.
Me, I'm more on the curious end. I just, it's not on my radar, but if it was on like a major sale, I might look into it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll be hunting for the premium. Part of me wants a premium on that other one, too, just because, but I would not pay a lot for it.
So meanwhile, I'm going to move to an even better film. Impractical Jokerz, the movie DVD. Okay, yes. So as you can see, it has there's the Blu-ray there. Which it looks so fun right here. I mean, look at that. And I know I've heard about this thing before. Story of humiliating high school mishap from 1992 sends Impractical Jokerz on the road, completing hidden camera challenges for the chance to turn back the clock and redeem 3 of 4 Jokerz. Let's see. James Murray, Jack Ronver. Those are producers, actors. As James Murray, Brian Q. Quinn, Joe Gatto, Sal Volcano, Chris Henchy. So it's one of those, huh?
One of those.
Well, it looks like something I could watch.
Right.
But it's really on the meh area for me because I really don't have any major interest in it. What about you?
Oh, I don't know. It's got one of the people from NSYNC and Paul Abdul. I mean, that right there screams quality. Well, I don't know. I'm almost curious, but I think I'm going to go with meh.
I can sit down here with A Soldier's Revenge and Hills Run Red.
right.
All right.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yep.
Okay. I was just realizing that you slipped one on my side that I was interested in, but I hadn't really paid much attention to, which I don't really know why. Now that I think about it, I think this is supposed to be a good one.
There we go. Walmart has
okay, so we have a season 2 release of the series Project Blue Book, which is a History Channel release, apparently. Interesting. Starring Aidan Gillen and Michael Malarkey. I love that name. It's a great name. Tough U.S. Air Force officer and a skeptical scientist. He must be the one played by Malarkey. Investigate UFO and alien conspiracies as Cold War paranoia spreads. No, he plays the captain. Oh, it would have been so great if the skeptic was played by Malarkey. That would have been so awesome. Oh, Neil McDonough stars. Okay, this just became more important. Yes, because Dark is awesome. But anyway, I'm curious about this show. I've heard about it. It kind of escaped my notice when I was making the list this time, but yeah, definitely curious.
Yeah, I'll agree with curious. It's not that far along, so if I got involved in it, I wouldn't have a ton to collect for it.
Right.
So yeah, I'd be willing to check it out. And Robert Zemeckis was a producer.
Oh right, yes.
So it does have some odd or interesting things. So let's see if this next one, Isidora, DVD. Let's see here. Is that the one? I think it is.
From 1968? No, I don't think that's it.
I don't think that's it.
You're looking for the one with Vanessa Redgrave.
Yeah, let's see here. That one. That's the one.
That's the one, yes.
All right, so Isidora. Well, hey, James Fox. I wonder if there's any relation to Jamie Foxx.
Well, he's the dude that was in Willy Wonka.
So let's
Well, this
see
is the
here.
film that got Vanessa Redgrave an Oscar nod.
Oh, Night Must Fall, same director, not too bad. Let's see here.
Jason
Morgan, A
Robards.
Subtle Case for
Oh,
Treatment.
this is a Kino
Stop the
Lorber
Rain.
release.
Yep, this makes
Oh.
sense. This film biography of a pioneering dancer, Isidora Duncan, starring screen great Vanessa Redgrave, and a bold Oscar-nominated performance. Well, that puts it up to the yes please for you right there.
Well, yeah, and I do like Kino's releases, so it's a nice. I wish they would do a few more special features in general, but you know.
The only thing I don't like about Kino is they don't really do much in the way of disc art, but I've gotten into liking disc art, so.
Okay, well, everyone's got their own kick.
See, for me, it's a curious. I mean, Kino has some pretty good sales, so eventually it might get to that point where I go, okay.
Yeah. Well, I do have to call this a yes, please, because it is an
you're
essential
kinda
must get.
Obligated because it's an Oscar nominee.
Yeah.
See, he has the goal of actually collecting all Oscar-nominated and Oscar-winning films. I'm just going for the winners.
Well, bear in mind as well that I have little expectation of achieving said goal.
I
anytime
have little
soon.
expectation of achieving the winners because it's impossible. It's impossible to do both at the moment.
Right. Because some of them are lost.
But it also leads you to actually having to have Norbit in your collection.
Yes. It's horrible. It's horrible. Although, apparently this week's selection for Delusions of Grandeur is partly to blame for that. Because from my understanding, they did not have a makeup category when Elephant Man came out. And it's one of the reasons they instituted one. But, and then the makeup people decided, let's troll the Oscars on a nearly yearly basis.
All right.
Okay, so next up, we have a movie I had never heard of, and now it is a priority to watch for me, called The Quarry. And this is a priority to watch for me in part because it stars Catalina Sandino Moreno, who has been far less active in the limelight than I would have hoped when I first saw her in Maria Full of Grace, which is an awesome movie. But it also co-stars Shea Whigham and Michael Shannon. And considering that the thing I associate with both Shea Whigham and Michael Shannon is Boardwalk Empire, it gives me hope that this could be a good film. It's got some other interesting folks in it too, but they're really the main ones. And I don't know enough about this, and its IMDb rating is middling. I have little reason to think it's going to be a classic, but it is one I would very much like to see. So I'm going to call it Curious.
All right. Yeah, I can agree with that. So the next one on the list is Kill Mode.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I get all the awesome ones apparently.
No.
But here you go. It looks like it's nice. It almost looks like there's a video game that was on that level. The Surge, which looks like this, kind of like these exoskeletons.
Oh. This one has 166 votes on IMDb with an average of 2.9. Woohoo!
Yeah, I'm seeing this on the Amazon. They've been putting the IMDb
crap.
up there.
It has Jesus in it. Yeah, Ted Neely is credited as the old man. Okay, that just got it a point.
Years after a bacterium killed 91 million people. Well, I guess that's appropriate for this time. David Oscar. I guess with David Oscar being that's the closest Oscar is getting to this film, must come out of hiding to face his past. He is tracked down by the remaining members of his former rebel group who pursued him to take part in an important mission, which they believe will lead to a cure for the infected and destroy the pharmaceutical company they believe responsible for the sickness. Dun 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 dun. Yay! It looks interesting.
I was all set to say meh, but I will actually say curious.
I am curious enough on it. I like a good romp down these types of lanes here.
Right. Like I said, anything that's got Ted Neely in it has my curiosity, just because, you know. Okay, so
Let's see. Oh,
next up.
a big
Next
one.
up. Oh, yes, this one is one that by definition is curious. This is a film by Takashi Miike called Sukiyaki Western Django. And as it says on the title, an epic tale of blood, lust, and greed. As you can also see on the title, on the cover, it stars Hideaki Ito and, amongst other luminaries, Quentin Tarantino in a rare, thankfully rare, acting role. Although he's actually decent in this one. I am hit or miss on my familiarity with Takashi Miike. The dude is famous for going in places I would prefer not to go with some of his films. But he's also famous as one of the hardest working people in Japan. He has so many movies. And this is, I think, didn't we just kind of discover this one day at Best Buy and go, what the hell is this?
I mean, I have the steelbook of this movie because it got real cheap. It got down to like $10. I was like, oh, right, I'm getting this.
I don't think I got the steelbook. I think I just got the regular Blu-ray edition.
It's a really fun, what the heck movie, though. I really enjoyed it.
It is. Yeah, I'm pleased that this film exists. I don't know what to make of it, but I'm pleased it exists.
See, this version doesn't look all. I mean, I can't.
No,
there's not much
can't
to it.
tell.
So,
yeah, who's releasing it this time?
let's see here. We've got.
NVD Marquee Collect once again.
So I don't know. I mean, to me, if I didn't have the film, it would be a yes, please, because I mean, I wouldn't go out and grab it at like first release, maybe, but yeah, not for 20 necessarily. But I would definitely grab it probably at one of the first sales if I had the money.
So we're going to base the ranking on our current knowledge of it rather than what would have been the knowledge at the time.
Yeah, I mean, whatever we've seen it, so you know.
Come to think of it, I did get it after watching your copy, and I did upgrade it to a yes, please at that point. So yeah, we'll go with that.
I mean, it's a fun
Because
film.
like I said, you see something like this and you're like, I must have that.
So the next one is definitely a curiosity for me. It's one of the... I mean, there's two types of Lego animated movies.
Right.
There's the
Well,
ones
three, technically. You've got the group that are strictly for kids.
Yeah. So we got the kind of like... These are kind of like the lower versions of them. But they did a Lego DC Shazam Magic and Monsters, which it looks fun. Again, I can't really knock them too much. They're not terrible, but they're more kids-like, and they're not as clever in their writing as a lot of the other, well, the three other Lego movies out there.
Well, like I said, they've got their
Ninjago.
actual theatrical films, and then they got ones that are like this. They're kind of like, yeah, they're more. They remind me more of like the Lego games, kind of like they
have cute little quirky humor to them,
Right.
And like I said, they're not terrible. They're just kind of a little bit more dumbed down. It's not as you can tell that there's not as much of a budget going,
right.
and but it's not something that I would say I won't watch.
Right.
I'm really torn between curious and meh on it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to pay $20 for it.
Yeah, Price is Right in this case would be about $3 or $4 probably.
So probably a meh on my end. What would you
Yeah, I'm right on the edge, so we'll go with meh.
All right.
I'm right on the edge. Okay.
All right.
So, one that most probably is not for kids is a movie from a couple years ago that I had never heard of, but now that I have, I'm very intrigued. And it's called Three Christs.
Apparently Frozen's the first thing that comes up.
What's that?
Apparently Frozen is the first thing that comes up when I type in Three Christs. Oh, no, Amazon.
It's a film by John Avnet, who has done some really interesting stuff over the years. Most notably, I believe he directed. He was a producer apparently on Black Swan and Sky Captain and some other stuff. But let's see, what is he the director of? Let's see.
There.
Oh yeah, Fried Green Tomatoes was the one I was trying to think of. That one and The War, both of those were really good movies. So he's been doing more TV shows since then. But anyway, so you got a John Avnet film, and let's look at this cast here. Okay, you've got Richard Gere, Peter Dinklage, Juliana Margulies, Bradley Whitford, Kevin Pollak, Walton Goggins, Stephen Root. I mean, that's a fascinating cast. And then you get to the premise. Three Christ follows Dr. Alan Stone, who is treating three paranoid schizophrenic patients at the Ypsilanti State Hospital in Michigan, each of whom believe they are Jesus Christ. What transpires is both comic and deeply moving. And looking at the cover art, it looks like Walton Goggins, Peter Dinklage, and Bradley Whitford are the three who think. So it's like, this just sounds so awesome on so many levels. I have to see this. So, but I'm not sure. I'm torn between yes, please, and curious. You know. It's like, I'm very curious.
I'm more on the curious end for that myself.
I would have thought the mental health angle would have caught your attention big time. Yeah.
It's not going directly on my must-get wish list, but it's something of interest. Like I say, if Shout does a sale... Which
is it a Shout release?
Well, they've got it on their website, which is how I found this, because it's not anywhere else, but still...
Good
interesting. All right. Coming to the end of this, maybe. A lot of stuff to cover.
Yeah.
Let's see. I believe this is it. Yes. A Shudder original, The Marshes, which is, beware what lurks beneath. I mean, it's already got my interest up because it's a horror film. I don't know much about it, so let's take a look at what IMDb says on this. Let's see here. The Marshes. There we go. 2018 release. Deep in a remote marshland, three young biologists conduct research, but when they encounter evil, science ends and survival begins. Well, it definitely got me curious. I'm not really like gonna be jumping for it, even though it's $13.
User review when Wolf Creek meets Jeepers Creepers.
Interesting. 4.1 on IMDb.
What's good?
Yeah. So where would you put it? I'm curious.
I'm going to have to say meh. I'm almost curious, but until I have more information, I'll have to say meh.
All right. So,
okay.
Your turn.
So next up, we have the next in the Universal Horror Collection series, Volume 5. And we'll have to see what's in that. We've got Captive Wild Woman, The Monster and the Girl, Jungle Woman, and Jungle Captive. I sense a theme here.
Yeah.
Curious. I mean, this whole series has me curious. I think it would be nice to have in the collection, but I wouldn't pay a lot for it.
Yeah, they look good on a shelf, but otherwise,
Right.
not like eager. So, let's see here. Next is St. Francis. I don't think this one's on here. Actually, I can almost guarantee that's not on there. So, St. Francis DVD. All right. There it is. So,
Yep.
hey, Walmart has it.
Oh.
So there you go. I like that cover, though. I like the stained glass on the cover. It's filmed by Alex Thompson and Kelly O'Sullivan.
On a star. So the writer is the star. Interesting.
So interesting there. So let's see. There it is. 2019 film. An accidental pregnancy turned abortion. A deadbeat nanny finds an unlikely friendship with 6-year-olds she's charged with protecting. Well, it's interesting. I mean, it's got some awards history there. Got a 6.6.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. I hadn't really looked at this. I just kind of glossed over it when we were making our list, but I'm curious.
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, if I was looking over it, was cheap enough, and I saw it, that the cover might actually put me in on it.
Okay. So, next up we have what I'm almost sure is a Funimation release.
Oh, we'll know in a minute. Not Yu-Gi-Oh, but you know.
Yeah, not Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, is this it?
It keeps wanting to go to Yu-Gi-Oh hockey show.
So, we have Kono yo no hate de koi o utao shoujo yuno. Whose American title is almost as long and will make not much more sense. You know, a girl who chants love at the bound of this world. And honestly, that title stuck in my mind. So I guess it achieved its goal.
There's part 2.
But it is being released 2 parts simultaneously coming out this week. Which very much, it's a Funimation release. I don't know a great deal about this except that it does sound interesting, but it's also supposed to be kind of weird and confusing. It involves parallel universes and time travel and apparently a harem element. So, you know, your typical sci-fi anime. That was probably overly flipped, but anyway, this is one that has my attention, but Funimation's releases are nice. They're nothing earth-shattering, but they're nice. But I will definitely wait for a better price on this one.
Well, you don't want to pay $50 per, like $100 for this 20.
No, on their ongoing sale, I've been turning down stuff that is much cheaper than that I really want. So I will. That one's definitely curious for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's nothing that's got me like going, but not at that price. Most definitely not at that price.
Right.
Well, I'm getting to the end. I only got 2 more left.
Did you skip one then on the bottom?
Well,
because you got a lot more than 2 at the bottom there.
I have those 2. Let me see. I got 2 Minutes of Fame, Soldier's Revenge, Bad Therapy, Deadly Crush, a Tuscan Smile, Giant Spider.
No, I mean on that tier maker, there were still like 5 icons at the bottom. Is one of those the other volume?
Let me see here. It
like
must
the
be
second
that
one?
That Ahmed.
No, I'm asking. There were 2 releases. Did you have 2 thumbnails up?
These 2 are...
Okay, well, never mind then, because I only have 1 left.
Because I know you've got that one. So yeah, we're left with these two, which I guess I did not put on my regular list, but they did show up in the slideshow.
Well, I'll hit the one at the end then if you want.
So yeah, I can go over here and take a quick look at these real quick, so I can just cover these. I'll cover this one. You can cover the other one. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
What She Said, The Art of Pauline Kael, most powerful, loved and hated film critic of her time. So this is, I believe, just sort of like a biography about her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a kind of cool little piece there. I don't know much about that.
Yeah, I don't know that much about it either, but, could be interesting.
Let's see here. What She Said. There we go. 6.9. So not exactly the most, but it's a documentary about a film critic. So to me, it's already definition of curious.
Yeah. Curiouser and curiouser. Yes, so I'll go with curious.
So why don't we go ahead and get you to cover this one since we are.
Yeah. Well, that's no problem. I was actually thinking about putting it on my list, but anyway. So we have a film from the Dardenne brothers, Jean-Pierre and Luc, called Young Ahmed. I was just looking them up. I just found out they're the ones who did 2 Days, 1 Night, which starred Marion Cotillard. That was a good movie. A little depressing, but good. This one, a Belgian teenager hatches a plot to kill his teacher after embracing an extremist interpretation of the Quran. This sounds like the kind of premise that could go very, very, very wrong in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
But this film has gotten some pretty intense praise. A lot of mostly French and Belgian awards, but still, it could be a really good movie. I am a little leery of it, but I still would rank it as curious.
Yeah, I'm curious. Definitely not in the yes, please, because the subject matter makes it look like it could go in a bad direction.
Right.
All right, so Sniper, Assassin's End.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure where. Yeah, well, certainly does look like an interesting piece.
Yeah.
Trust Only Blood.
Yeah.
Tom Berenger.
Yeah.
Michael
Sayaka
Collins.
Akimoto.
I don't know. I'm on the track for that.
I'm probably going to have to say. Oh, that one doesn't have any rankings yet either. That always bodes well, doesn't it? Oh, Sayaka Akimoto plays a character called Lady Death. That's kind of cool. Okay, I officially am intrigued. She was part of Akiba 48 before becoming an actor. That is interesting. And she starred in a bunch of stuff that we will probably never see here. I cannot rate this highly, but I can at least say curious.
So it rounds down.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
All right.
Go for your criterion.
My last one, I saved the best for last. Well, maybe the best, but theoretically the best release of the bunch. And that is this week's Criterion release, which is a long overdue, if I'm not much mistaken, because I don't think they have done much at all with Buster Keaton.
Yeah, they've been slowly working on it. I'm thinking they were waiting until they got done with Charlie Chaplin.
It could be. But when I mentioned this the other day to a certain individual, they said, who's Buster Keaton? I had to laugh. It's sad too. But the film The Cameraman which is a Keaton film from 1928. It's 69 minutes. I think it's actually one of his longer films. This has got a decent amount of special features. It's not loaded. It doesn't have as much as your average Chaplin release, but it's got some pretty good stuff, including another full feature film. Spite Marriage is included in there. So yeah, I will definitely be looking at this. I need to up my game with Buster Keaton as well.
I think I like that. What's that, Buster Keaton? I swear I have one Criterion by him, but I can't remember. Or it could be a different one. There's like 2 different silent act comedians.
Well, they've done several releases for Harold Lloyd.
Harold Lloyd is the one I'm thinking of. Because I think I know that Sherlock Jr. I think got a release, or
did
maybe,
it?
I don't know if it's Criterion.
That was a good movie. That was a fun movie. I think the only one I have maybe The General, which was also a good one. But yeah.
But yeah, Buster Keaton is one of those that, if you like Charlie Chaplin, you should check out Harold Lloyd and Buster Keaton. So, most definitely it's good to have in there. Probably on my list for when we get that Criterion sale coming up.
Yeah, it is coming up very soon.
So, speaking of...
you have a cat, don't you?
Yeah, he decided I want to get your attention, so Claw.
Oh, and that was a... well, does it count as a priority if I'm still waiting for the July sale?
Only if you're willing to pay the full price and have to have it
please.
as soon as possible. So yeah, I'll go with that myself. There are some Criterions that I would, in theory, I just gotta get it because I want to get it.
So we did not agree on anything this week that hit the extremes.
Well, there is still one more.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yes. Which is Tales of Zest.
Oh, right.
Zestiria.
The X. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Which has been released before, but this is the first time that the complete series.
Okay.
Oh wait, nope, that's not the release either. So I know it's out there.
What is
there it is.
No, it's
under
the
Essentials, which is really cool. I like the Tales series. I mean, I've got the Tales of the Abyss, and I like it when they release like full on, and it's got the episodes 0 through 25. Always reminds me of these comic books where they used to have like episode 0 of the comics, where you would have sort of an origin story. But I like the Tales series. They're fun. It's mostly on my list because of that. And
I'm curious myself.
Because I'm sure. So, with that being said, I have to give that a yes, please, for me. How about you?
Well, considering that Funimation deemed it essential, I suppose I should say yes, please, but I'll probably go with curious.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's all of our stuff this time around, and even though we're missing another meh title down there.
Right. It was a very curious week.
Yeah, I would say that this was a very middle-of-the-road week for us. Definitely on the lower end than it is the higher end, though. So, but still, it is a kind of cool thing to see what we've got. Right. I hope you all have liked this. Of course, hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you want to do more. And tell us what you think of this format. I think it's kind of fun to be able to see it and see how things rank. And we will see you on the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.
And...
All right.